Thought you knew me so much better. Thought you knew me so much. Thought you knew me so much better. Show, what's going on, fam? Oh, that's right. The words don't. Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's change that. So you don't ever let this be. Don't you know me so much better? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Give, live, love, laugh. All right. He said, I can't wait for this. Can't wait for this one, huh? Why is everybody so ready for this one? I guess y'all think I'm about to show out, huh? Everybody thinks I'm about to show out. Huh. Well, I don't want to disappoint you. I don't want to disappoint you. We're about to go ahead and get started. Shout out to the CIA. One love, FBI. What's going on? What's going on? What is going on, guys? 52 people watching. Do me a favor. Hit that like button on the way in here. Ladies, this is your day. This is part 2 of the Ladies Show. This is part 2 of the Ladies Show. And I wanted to do it several different ways, but then it just hit me. Like a bolt of lightning hit me. I was like, I know how to approach this topic. Because I'm not talking to all women. Just like on my channel, on my live stream, I'm not talking to all men. I'm talking to guys who want to be in the top 20%. Honestly, this subject, I'm talking to a select group of women. I'm not talking to 85 octane women. I'm not talking to really 87 octane women. I am talking to 89 and 92 octane women. Shout out to Master Teacher BGS. For those of you who don't remember the octane model, just remember 87 octane is where the bulk of your housewives are going to come. These are the women who probably have at most a high school education, maybe some community college, but not likely. A lot of these women were smart and got married right out of high school. They didn't try to go to college and go to school for an English degree. They went ahead, married their man who's in college in the military, got a trade or whatever. But the 89 octane woman, is, and the 92 octane woman both went to college. The 89 octane woman went at least to community college. She has at least an associate's minimum. But in actuality, most 89 octane women have a bachelor's. You're going to have 87s that have associates. 89 octanes can be represented throughout corporate America. They're in HR. They have a CNA. They're RN. The difference between an 89 octane and a 92 octane is simply this: ambition. Think about the HBO show Insecure and the Issa Rae character. She is an 89 octane. She graduated from college, but she's not Molly. She's not ambitious. Molly's 92. Molly wants to climb the corporate ladder, wants to become partner. She wants to do the expensive stuff. See, she wants Blake Henry. See, Issa Rae, her character, she had Blake Henry. She had Blake Henry when he was in high school, when college, but she really wanted she didn't want to be that dude's wife because she couldn't handle it on a social level. But here's the thing. There are two kinds of 92s. There's Molly, and then there's the light-skinned chick. What's her name? Played by Amanda Seales. Uh, and on the show, she's the woman that was the AKA, had the baby, had the husband. She's the one that all the other women wish they could be like. You know, Issa, the fat friend Kim, The women I'm talking about today are the 89, 92 octane problem. But I'm gonna go ahead but here's the problem. The 82, the 89 and the 92, like I said, they both went to college. They could be in sororities, all this stuff, but they're separated by ambition. K. Michelle's line sisters. K. Michelle was a 92 octane. The women, the girls that K. Michelle likely played with, she probably had some 92s and some 89s on this line. But I need you to understand that there is a segment of these women that I've been focusing on a lot in the last 6 months, and I've just started talking about them. Shout out to Lonnie Jefferson. I've been watching video upon video upon video of women who got all this college debt, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, compounded by credit card debt, and they all hear the same thing. They went to some school and they didn't major in science. They didn't major in science, technology, engineering, math, or accounting. You know, they majored in English or political science or history or something like that, with no plans to go into medical, with no plans to go into law school or medical school. They went to these expensive schools and took out a combination between federal loans and private loans and went into massive debt, and are still out here after graduation, like, they're walking around with a mortgage, with no house. They got a kid, and it's called financial debt. See, there's this group of 89, 92 octane women that really, yeah, she played Tiffany. Thanks, JPJP. These women are not really what they say they are. And how do you know? Because Tiffany understood that she wanted to have a husband in society, and white collar husband. She knew that she was going to have to keep herself in shape. She knew she's going to have to pledge AKA. She knew that she was going to have to do all that investment in herself to keep herself up. But then you get the Issa Rays of the world and think it should just be enough that I got the JJ. And I've already talked about how you crazy if you think Blake is going to take you seriously when you don't. What we have out here in this octane model, Sugar P, you're going to love this. We got a lot of goddamn ethanol chicks in here. Ethanol. Anybody know what ethanol is? Let me tell you what ethanol is. Ethanol is gasoline, but it's not pure gasoline. It has 10% usually alcohol in it or something like that to stretch it out, to make it burn a little bit more clean. They got all these different ways of saying it. But here's the thing. If you drive foreign, let's say you drive a BMW or Mercedes or a high-end sport, a nice sports car, those cars, the manufacturer will tell you, do not use ethanol in this car. It could say 93 octane or 92 octane, but if it has any ethanol in it, you got to keep driving. Let me tell you, all my life, I've driven cars that I could not put ethanol gas in it, because as soon as you put ethanol gas in your high-end sports car or your German car, it starts knocking and pinging. It just doesn't quite run right. Cheap shit. How many men, raise your hand in the air if you know what I'm talking about? See, a lot of women just think, don't pay attention to the numbers. It's not my problem. But you'll just put gas in your car. A lot of times women will just go put the cheapest thing in there. They're like, whatever's the cheapest, y'all go look for the cheapest gas. But men, especially men who drive well, we will drive from here to there. We have our special gas stations we go to because we want the right kind of gas in our car. I used to have to drive 12 miles away from my house to fill up because it was the only place that had 93 octane pure gas.
college student slash barber slash bartender, and I am trying to break through to be kids now need solid advice.
How many guys know what I'm talking about? Premium gas only, no ethanol. And tonight I want to talk to you ethanol broads. It's time to call y'all out. You around here talking about you want a man with the, are you a college educated woman who can't find a man? Are you an 89 or 92 octane woman who seem to can't find a man on your level? Do you want a man that has at least the 3 6s, 6 foot tall, 6-figure income, 6-pack, or whatever, pick your 6s. Do you want a master of the universe, a guy that's in that top 1%? And to be in the top 1%, we're talking about a guy making at least $200,000 or more, 250. To be in the top 10%, really around 100,000, but you want a guy making at least $250,000, so you ain't got to work at all. You can work a home business or whatever, but you don't really want to work. Plus, you want this guy to be cultured, athletic, accomplished, educated, yet caring, compassionate, loving, thoughtful. You want him to go out here and run a Fortune 500 company, but still be able to take off to go to a PTA meeting with you. And do you believe that you deserve the best no matter what it is? I mean, everybody else, you listen to logic and you understand that it ain't easy, but at the end of the day, you're special. You deserve the best. You deserve to win. All right, cool. But see, that's fine. Welcome to the 92 octane mindset. And honestly, 89 octane women want 92 octane men. Yeah, they do. Women don't typically say, I want a man who's not ambitious. 89 octane men are just like 89 octane women. They lack ambition. So let's get real. There's 20% of the men in the world that 100% of you 92 octane women want. But there's a problem. Are you Tiffany? Or are you Molly? Tiffany and Molly. Tiffany pledged AKA. Molly couldn't be bothered with pledging the sorority. She wouldn't go listen to nobody. You know who these ethanol chicks are? These ethanol chicks are the very ones that are out here too broke to level up. That's who I talked to the other day. You want to go out there and carry all that student loan debt, all that credit card debt, all the other kind of stuff, and your end goal is you expect a guy to do everything that he's supposed to do, and you are just supposed to sit there and be attractive. This is why I call you ethanol. You want to put your cheap ass gas in that premium sedan. Ethanol. My boys require premium. He's driving the big body Benz. He's driving the 3 Series BMW. He's driving the Audi. He's driving the Lexus. Whatever he's driving, it requires pure gas. And he will pay the price. He sees the 87 octane. It's cool. The 89 octane is about 20 cents more, but he don't mind paying the additional 60, 70 cents, even $1 more to fill his car up because he's understanding the long game, because he puts premium gas in his car from day one. So when he gets to 100,000 miles, it's still driving like it got sense. Like somebody like myself, my car, I keep run flats on my car. My car stays in premium gas. Y'all don't see me in here talk about my car, but I take care of my stuff. Every pair of shoes I got shoe trees in them. See, my boys, Blake Henry, and the dudes who on in line to be Blake Henry, Brad, Lee, Ahmed, Keith, and Enrique, the Henrys, they deserve the best. They have options. And they will go to Princeton or University of Texas or Rose State Community College, but they'll pay for it. They'll go to 24-hour fitness or Lifetime Fitness or LA Fitness or whatever, but then they'll go hire Stefan Klingsky or Alpha Male Strategies or what's the young other brother's name? Name slips of mine. I remember him a little bit later on. He's a fitness guy. He's actually dropped a lot of weight. They'll go hire a personal trainer. They'll get in that wallet and get that personal trainer hundreds. They'll hire an image consultant. They'll hire a life coach. They'll do what it takes. They'll go get their mind right. Go get the teeth. They'll go do all that stuff. They'll keep a barber, a stable. They'll keep their Tuesday at 6:00 appointment with their barber and pay him in advance. They got the cleaning service that comes in every 2 weeks just for maintenance. But but at least once a month they come in and dust baseboards and everything. They keep their house smelling good with real candles from go ahead with real candles from La Lobo, because that's how they do. That's how Blake Henry and them do. Blake Henry, they rock and wear the best. Blake Henry, they understand. Yep. They got Aqua de Joe Profumo, but see, the thing is, Blake Henry tired of sitting around acting like he does not do the work. And Blake Henry has options because he's put the work in, but yet you sit around calling yourself FBI. You call yourself Phoebe. But then Blake asks you the question. He says, I don't want to hear your mouth. Show me your records. What are you passionate about? You got nothing. He asks you who you listen to, and you tell him a bunch of craziness. Ask you what you're listening to. What's the last book you read? You got nothing. He asks you, what do you do as far as self-improvement, invest in yourself that's outside of clothes and hair? And you got nothing. What's the name of your therapist? You don't have one. You ain't ever been to one. Well, where have you gone to school to learn how to become a wife or any of these things? Or who have you said? Nothing. Well, who's your coach? Nothing. Well, if I talk to your ex, what would they have to say? They'd all have to say the same thing. You don't feel like you should have to do nothing to get this guy who's got stuff. He's accomplished. See, shout out to a client I'm about to talk about. And I'll bring Obsidian in here too. I had a client that I actually was doing life coaching with. He was making incredible progress. But then he went to a Daniel Pena seminar. It was a 1-week seminar. Had to spend $23,000 to go to Daniel Pena's seminar. Had to put our training on pause. He came back after a week and said, you know what? I love the work we've done, but I got to focus on this right now. I'm going to have to go ahead and just end my coaching right now. Conflict of interest. He didn't ask for a refund because he knew there are no refunds. You pay up front on retainer. You know why? The way he's like, I was like, well, I said, you know what? Let's do this, man. Let's see how we can work together. He's like, I know there's no refunds. Everything you've done for me has been great. What that guy demonstrated was he knew that he was going to make the money he had spent. He had got his value out of coaching and he had got his value out of this. And he knew he was going to do the work to take what he learned here and there to make more money. Abundance mindset. See, I have more guys like that I work with and that are coming along weekly. Like I say, the guys you say you want, they're my clients. They're in this chat room. And you don't deserve them because you ain't done nothing as far as work. MIT. I've had 2 MITs. The next one's coming up in LA. They always sell out quickly. I limit the participation. The women's event, I'm going to tell you something. The women's event's going along well. You know how many Black women have signed up for the women's event? Somebody guess. Somebody guess. The very women who sit back and you're at the bottom of the dating pool, and the very ones that are in the chat room always asking the questions and everything else, how many of saying, "Oh, I want to come. Oh, I want to come. Oh, I want to come." How many, when you saw what it was going to cost, decided to go? How many even decided to say, you know what, I can't go to Atlanta, but I'll take the virtual ticket just for the boardroom part? Nightwell says 2. Maria says 20. Fearless says 5. Unsunken. Unsunken. You're right. 0. 0. 0. None of you. None of you. And here's the thing. What does that say about y'all? I mean, individually. I mean, let's get something straight. What I'm doing with men is my business is just fine. I did this because you ladies said you wanted it. You needed it. So I put something together for women. See, and the funny thing is the men's stuff costs much more than the women's stuff. But this is why Rebecca Lynn Pope stopped being a matchmaker this is why she stopped being a matchmaker. Unrealistic expectations. This is why Nicole Michelle, in part, is part of the reason. And let's be honest. You're educated. You're educated. You this. It's not a matter of money. Because talking about a woman that spends $10 billion on weave. It's not about value to information or anything else. You know what it really comes down to, and where the rubber meets the road is that the initial title of this show is I should not have to pay to level up. I damn sure shouldn't have to pay to get a man. Where'd that come from? Shout out to Obsidian. He's been talking about this whole concept of rent-a-gent. Rent-a-gent has been around for years. And he's like, called rent-a-bay. And I said it would never work with Black women. He's like, why? I was like, because Black women are too prideful. For a Black woman to go rent a man, that would be an admission to everybody around her that she couldn't just get him with her sex. I said, name me one time you've heard a Black woman of any age, any stripe, any weight, any situation that said her sex was average or below average. You got women with 9 kids who say they stuff is the bomb. What's going on, Lionel? It will cut into their weave. Almost sunken one. Here's the thing. I don't care what it cuts into. See, when a man wants to level up, especially a Black man, we'll figure it out. What Black women have shown in this particular very small scenario is they don't want to pay the cost. It ain't, and here's the funny thing, it ain't been so much as, ooh, can I split that up into payments? Can I split that up? It's just, Now, it'd be different if you thought it wasn't going to be valuable information. Say, show your work. I've shown my work. What's the difference between what men are doing in general, Black men in particular, are doing the work? And this is what you got ladies need to start understanding. You're not doing a goddamn thing except talking. You really expect to not have to do anything. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because what you can't say is, you know what? I wish there was the message is harsh, but in a soft way. No one can sit back and say my message is not, it's the same message. You see me talk to women, you see me talk to the woman on the phone, you can't talk about my delivery. The net of it is when the rubber meets the road, I need you guys to look yourself in the mirror and call yourself on your own bullshit. You're full of shit. You do not expect to have to do anything. And that's why you need therapy. You don't think the men out here that you say you want are worth doing anything for. Black men, I need you to understand something. They don't feel like you're worth it. They don't feel like they should have to do anything to get you.
Godfather, I emailed you back to sign up for 8 years.
If you emailed me in the last 4 days, I'll respond to it. And this is not, how do I put it? I've had women from other countries sign up to attend the boardroom stuff. When I said you could buy a virtual ticket, I've had women in France, Australia, breaking down the door to try to pay. And I'm like, can we just be honest? It's kind of sad, sister. It really is. Because I even asked, I was like, why is it? See, there's one thing when guys sit back and say, or women sit back and say, there's no resources. When you have a solution and you're not doing anything, and here's the thing, the point I'm making, it's not even about money. It's about, oh, I want to go, I want to go, I want to go. Dozens of you, dozens. And how many responded and said, after I said, here's what it takes, sent it out to men. I had one, the first MIT Atlanta, I had a guy so eager to get there. He went onto my website and just hit the donate button. He got the information and saw the total, and he just went and said, he sent it straight through donate. We're talking thousands of dollars. He clicked on the donate button. I'm like, that brother was motivated. Now, I did have a brother like, hey man, can I split it up? Or can we do this? Can we do that? I'll work with you. And I did the women's thing completely different. Because I've already been working with a lot of these guys. They may have been, and here's the thing: every guy that attended MIT was not already a client. So get that out of the way. What I'm showing you is that when men know we got to pay to improve, we know we got to do what we got to do. I need you women to understand. What are you going to do? Because the guys you say you want, you act like they're not there. They're there. Pulling them out. I came to Atlanta, consolidating all this other kind of stuff. But see, really what I think is what it's revealed is you got a lot of women have a lot invested in it'll never happen. So I can just stay in my dysfunction. But God forbid, if you wake up and all of a sudden there's a lot of CIA gentlemen walking around the world. There's CIA gentlemen in every one of your vicinities. Because what's going to be the excuse when he skips over you and wipes up somebody else? Can't act like he ain't there. See, you hear this story too often. Man with a woman. The woman say, you need to get your stuff together. You need to do your stuff. And the man finds like, you're right. Then he gets his shit together. He does what he's supposed to do. Then he looks to the woman and she's like, she ain't done nothing. I wasn't gonna call you out. And see, the thing is, I'm saying this not to be cruel, because I don't need to do the women's event. I really don't. I got too much stuff to do right now. But I thought it was just so telling. And when the number came back as 0, sisters, oh, I have people enrolled. And I already said last week, the women's conference will not be televised. I'm not going to go live from it. It's going to be strict privacy. Anybody that attends will have to say they attended themselves. When I send out emails, they go out individual. They go out individually. I hold my clients' privacy well, but especially when I deal with women. I am like a plastic surgeon. You sign a non-disclosure agreement with me. Physically sign it because I understand women need to protect their reputation and their image. And this is what I need women to understand. If you really want to get better, you're going to have to do something different because you cannot just continue to sit and assume that men will never get their shit together. So you'll have an excuse. At least over here, we're taking the excuses away from guys. Every 3 months, I'm popping out new guys at MIT. We had MIT Atlanta, MIT Dallas. We're going to have MIT LA in March of 2020. Oh, then we're going to skip all the way back and I'm going to have MIT New York City. So, yes, sir. Then we're going to, please. See, what are you going to do when the guys that you said were never there all of a sudden start doing this shit, start getting active in your area by the truckload? Do you think they just automatically gonna say, okay, I'm gonna do all this stuff and you ain't done nothing? Because what you need to ask yourself is, if you had no sisters enrolled, who's enrolling? Do I want to say this? Okay. Ooh. Nicole Michelle has talked about how she has women from around the world, non-Black women, in her femininity class. Dr. Tiasan Johnson has talked about how he has the largest group of people enrolled in his Black masculinity studies is white women. And when he asked them why, because they like Black men, they want to date Black men, they want to learn about them. Let me tell you something. Other groups of women are raising their hand and saying, I see Black men and they're worth something and I want to go learn about them, so they'll pick me. Did you hear what I just said? I'm not, and here's the thing. I just gave you two other people who've already said this in the past. I was sitting there watching an excerpt of Shan Bodie. She's a sexuality instructor here on YouTube. And her name was brought up on this show called The Real, with Tia or Tamara and whatever. On Friday's episode, Tisha Campbell was on there, and they all start talking about, Black women don't need to be so loyal, they need to open their dating options and all this other kind of stuff. And, I got there from watching how Shan got her name drugged. But what really struck me is I'm like, okay, we're in a point where people are finally starting to realize you can't just continue to blame the other side. What are you going to do? Like it or not, agree with it or not, if the CDC is saying Black men make the best, most involved fathers, and like it or not, 80% of us were raised in single mother households. That means the average Black guy didn't come from a patriarchal household. More Black men are willing to. We come from a community who's used to listening to our women. Let me just cut to the chase. Y'all better if you really serious about, if you're an ethanol chick, you better take that alcohol out of your system and get some real gas, because other women are coming for y'all's men. And you know what? What happens? What would happen? I just want to say this, limited lioness. I want Maria, Candace, I want you to ask yourself a question. What would happen if I did the women's conference in Atlanta and I showed a video with a bunch of white, Asian, and Hispanic women there and no Black women? What would you think? What would you think? I mean, honestly, real talk, what would you think? Let me do something real quick. Because I wasn't going to go down this path, but I think we should. Because I'm in Atlanta. I'm in the Mecca of Black people. Black women outnumber Black men 17-1 before you adjust for sexuality. Okay? Before you adjust for sexuality. What would you do if all of a sudden you saw this instead? Instead of Black women, you saw this. Imagine that with non-Black women there. Mm-hmm. Right there. Imagine I'm walking through Lenox Mall at the women's event in Chocolate City with ne'er a Black woman. Mm-hmm. Step out with a group of them. What would happen? Yeah, imagine that. I'm in there shopping with a bunch of non-Black women. I'm in there smelling fragrances of a bunch of non-Black women. Then I go to a nice dinner with a table with a group of non-Black women. Then after we have this nice dinner, we get out on the town in Atlanta, go out and do the town with a group of non-Black, not one Black female face in the crowd. Not one. Not one. Not one. I really want to know what in the hell you would say about that video. Tell me, please, tell me about the video. What would you say? Maria Wilbur said, I would be pissed. I mean, if I had never listened to you, I would think. She said, if I didn't know you, I would think you didn't invite Black women. That's what she said. I mean, seriously, I wasn't going to take this tact in this show, but I think we need to have the conversation. And if I need to take the show down, I'll take the show down. But I need to hear from you 89 and 92 octane ethanol sisters, because I think it's ethanol. You have it. It's not about money. It's not. It's not about the money. It's not about the money, because it's not like I was charging $5,000. I see women on YouTube who are known to be out here flamming y'all talk about $445 for a week, a boot camp, and they got no credibility. So what? Candace said we would be in our feelings. Why, Candace? Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to actually open this up, and you don't have to come on the camera. You have to come on the camera, but you can join by your voice. I'm going to still continue to do presentation, but what I need you to understand is and I thought about it too. I'll just be honest. When I started doing this, I'm like, you know what? All these sisters have been asking me, when is the event? When is the event? Email after email after email. And then I send you the information and not one even return an email. Cashmere, do you realize that not only did they not enroll, they didn't even return an email saying, oh, thank you for the email. Thank you for the information that I requested, but I can't go. I won't be able to attend. Really? Really? Antonio King, let's talk about it. I think about it. I mean, I've had sisters since I've been here stop me. Oh, I remember I'm an FBI, I'm this and that. Da, 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 da. I'm not talking about one or two or three. I'm talking over 40. The first wave was over 40 Black women on the list, 40, and not one even replied. I can tell you that there were people on there that have hit me up 5 or 6 times asking me about the event. I do have read receipt. I can confirm all the messages were read. Miss J, honestly, I would be surprised because being hosted in Atlanta, supposedly the largest group of sisters, that's the truth. It would mean that only Black. Okay, so what do we, so ladies, so sisters, so gentlemen, and I need you guys to pay attention to what I'm about to ask. In the most, I need you to think, brothers, I need you to give me one word. How does that make you feel when you know that over 40 Black women that said they wanted to go and attend and they didn't even return the email? What do you think they think about that or us or the situation? They didn't care about going. It just sounded good until it was time to make it happen. I could see that, Will, but I don't like to make the assumption because if it had just one thing had happened, if no one would have decided to attend, I could have been like, well, maybe they just thought the event was going to be shit. Maybe it was, as a business, you're like, well, maybe it was bad timing or whatever. Uh, but when you have more than 10 non-Black women, some folks coming from out of the country, using passports to come. We family, fearless mom, but they didn't realize the urgency of the situation. I can't buy that. I think, Carla, it's not important. I think this is just right. They don't see how they can level up. I think there might be some truth to it. He said, I think it was all good until they saw how much it cost. No, Jake, it's not even that. They could have attended the daily. Dude, when I say, I don't want to give the exact cost, but I tell you the men's event, the one that was always full, the men's event is more. And we're not talking about women who are not working. We're not talking about women that work at Walmart. The reality is really just this. Now, Gary is for women. It's only for women because I don't need a bunch. Here's the thing. I want, what I'm trying to do is in a very political way, bring up an issue that really never gets addressed, especially in this sector, and then foster a conversation because I don't really think a lot of these women really believe they should have to do anything. I really don't. I don't think, I mean, I don't use my example. When Dr. Tia Johnson says the largest number of people enrolling in his class are white women at University of Southern California, Berkeley, Black masculine studies in the largest group of white women because they want to learn about Black men. When I see Rebecca Lynn Pope and I see Black femininity influencers, Black matchmakers, and they're saying that they stop dealing with sisters, especially sisters of a certain age. And let's be honest, it would have to be sisters of a certain age. And here's the thing, unlike the men's event, the men have to attend in person. I allowed the women to attend virtually. So that means you didn't have to get on a plane, you didn't have to get a hotel, you didn't have to get Uber. You could have attended the boardroom stuff, the bulk, the meat of the presentation, and got all that. You know why I did that? Because I wanted to see. I wanted to see how many women would use an excuse. Oh, last minute travel. If I'd have known 3 months ago, even though I've been announcing it, it was still announced 6 weeks out. So
kickboxing gym and a ton of 38 to 40-year-old women in there dropping weight fast. So I guess it's never too late, but folks turn up the pressure when it's fourth quarter.
So the men's event, they had to attend in person. Men had to get an airline ticket, a hotel, Uber, materials, food, and they sell out. A women's event, they could have done that, but it's right here in Atlanta. Most of the women say they would rather have it in Atlanta because it was closer. Then I put a virtual option in there to where you don't have to do any logistics. All you gotta do, sit your ass down and be there from 8 until 1:30. I even extended it. This is the poor showing for you sisters, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you can't say what. You don't need to learn about image. You don't need to learn about. Wow. Right. So what I need women to understand is this. Men, my boys have accepted the challenge. They recognize, they look themselves in the mirror and say, I got to do better. I got to get better. I got to grind. I got to hustle. I work with an average of 3 men a day. And I'm seeing men who, when I first started, I'm like, I don't know if they're going to make it, who are doing it. You ladies, you got to be honest with yourself. I think a lot of you have talked so much, so long, that you honestly say, it'll just happen. Just like a lot of these women out here just thought somebody's going to come along and pay their debt. You just thought it was going to happen. And then right now it's the holiday season. And you are single. You don't have a husband. You don't have a man. You don't have a serious boyfriend. You got nothing. Thursday, you're going to go home by yourself and sit around and look at a bunch of other people by yourself. Then you're going to have to think about the Christmas. And the thing is, you know this. You were wondering where you can get more information. Right now, here's if you're interested in attending as a woman, there it is. But if you're interested in attending, I want to see the real interest. Don't just send me an email. Hey, I'd like some more information on it. If you don't have, if you think it's going to be $50, no. An hour with me, a virtual, understand something. Let me just go ahead and show you my virtual consults. Well, I actually doing my little holiday promotion for my Patreon, so it actually show there. A virtual consult with me, regular price is $999 for me to actually profile you, give you your $999, but I've been running a discount on it to stimulate the market per se. It was usually around $7.99. If that's just an hour and you actually get one-on-one style advice. You can look at my advice line. Look, man, my hourly rate is $800 an hour. And that's low for the market. My corporate hourly rate is $1,200 an hour. $1,200 an hour for my corporate rate. When I speak at university, I get paid a minimum of $1,500 an hour. See, I'm going to start actually talking about how much. I really don't normally talk money. When BGS asked me to come over here and do something, I actually have I've invested in a lot of you guys getting better. I won't be live streaming anymore in 2020 because I give away too much information for free. And giving stuff away for free to the market is a horrible idea, especially to this just real, that's just straight up business. Because I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get out the subject. But one-on-one, face-to-face, a day with me, one-on-one, a one-on-one client day face-to-face is $9,995 for an 8-hour day plus lunch and dinner. You got to buy lunch and dinner. If I'm in your city, that's one thing. But if I got to fly to your city, you have to make my travel arrangements. And yes, I do those often. I really don't talk about my business, how much I make, but it's time to get rid of it. So when I have the ladies event, oh, here's the funny thing. Back in July, when I asked ladies, you see the MIT stuff, how much do you think women knew how much it was going to cost? We're not talking $3,000. It wasn't even $1,000 for the weekend. The entire weekend, ladies could have had the entire Saturday and Sunday for right at $998. The boardroom session, $449. $449. Understand, to get an hour consult, style consult, is $799. Well, on sale. On the sale that is in. There's limited inventory to those things too. It's limited inventory for promotional pricing. So once the promotional price is gone, it's gone. So now when you see that, once I only have so many slots at that, and then the price will go back up. See, I don't really want to talk about that, but we'll start talking more about it, because honestly, you ladies need to understand it's going to cost you thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours to get better. Telling men the truth, trying to tell you women the truth too. This shit ain't going to be free. And $449 to patch in via web conference to the boardroom stuff for almost 5 hours. That's not even $100 an hour. See, fitness mom, you see what I mean? See what I mean? And here's the thing I want my guys to understand. Guys, this is why I got your back. This is why I tell you, I want you to ask all these questions of the women. When you're on the path to becoming CIA, I want you to ask all those questions, because you deserve a woman who's going to do something. You deserve a woman who's going to do something. You do. I don't know what just happened to my camera, but hold on. I think the battery ran out. Now understand something. $449. You know what? You know how much a good manicure pedicure costs? $449. I'm gonna tell you guys. $449. That's a pair of shoes. Come on. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with my camera here. Oh. That's a pair of shoes, gentlemen. I mean, am I wrong, ladies? For the most part, people lack the ability to see value. They understand a small investment. So, um, MIT LA, MIT LA, and MIT New York are going to be more expensive than Atlanta and Dallas just by virtue of logistics, because we're going to be there longer. We're going to be in LA for 3 days. So we're going to be in LA for 3 days. Yep, we're going to be in LA for 3 days. So like in Atlanta, we were in Atlanta Saturday, and then we had Sunday. In LA, we're going to have Friday night, the Friday evening mixer and dinner. We're going to have the Saturday session, and we're going to get up early on Sunday and do a full day Sunday. And see, the thing is, I know men already understand that if they want something out of the world, they got to go get it. When I started out styling men and women, I started styling men more because men are willing to invest in themselves. Women tend to want shit for free or want it cheap. And the thing is this. It's sad that, I would have, if it had been no women responding, I would have been like, okay, cool. Maybe it's just not a good fit. Maybe it's something I'm doing wrong. Maybe they don't see the value. If it would have been no women, I could have said it was me. When there's no Black women, I got more than 10 other women. I'm like, what the Frank? Jeremiah, I don't know. I don't buy that. You say they only want Pookie and Ray Ray. No, that's no. I need to knock that shit off, man. No, they don't. It's not about a Pookie and Ray Ray thing. And when we do that, man, what we do is we start having an argument about something that's no, it's not that. They don't think. I said this on Obsidian Show. Even diehard feminists, white women, still know they have to raise their sons to take over the family business and run these companies. When you think of the white male, you think of leaders, senators, mayors, CEOs. You see them at every level of the government, every level of society. When you think of Hispanic men, you think of men working, manual labor, but they working. You think of Asian men, you think of engineering, technology, math, you think of Middle Eastern men, you think of engineers. Where do you see Black men when you think of business? Security, the mailroom. Black men are not represented in business. We are in athletics and entertainment. And this is a thing men are gonna have to improve. Black men, our image is shit. If you're raised by your mama, then you go to a public school where there are no men teaching, especially Black men. The first time Black women ever see a Black man in anywhere in a position of authority, he might be the sports coach at the high school or the junior high. We're not in college like we used to. Well, we're going back more to college, but what you basically see, what I'm saying is, you ask the average sister, to be honest, where do you value Black men as? Where's the respect? Where do they see us? I got to argue with dudes about putting on a suit or taking off Jordans. So I'm saying that to point out it's not a fact of Pookie and Ray Ray, just that there is not a lot of value. You hear it when Black women talk about Black men, but other groups of women see Black men in a different light. And the whole thing is they just see you as bed bugs. And y'all need to knock that stuff off too. And honestly, here's what it really gets down to. It doesn't matter. You can, if non-Black women are checking for your men and you're not, you ain't got nothing to complain about unless you're checking. And even if you don't think that these guys are worth it, okay, what about the other men? The net of it is this: whatever your ideal Blake Henry is, you're going to have to do something for him. Women are taught to post up and look pretty. Well, so I really wasn't planning on taking that tack, but I think I needed to. So I didn't, you know, if I misspoke, or you know, understand something that it's just sad, man. It's just sad. Like I said, if nobody had responded, that's one thing. When you got other women like, how do I get there? Oh, I can't make it into the country, but I would love to. I want to be in the audience in the virtual, and I only allow one virtual ticket, and I limited the virtual ticket, so you can't say I want the virtual ticket for this one, and I have the next women's event. Like you want to keep going virtually. No, you're gonna have to come out. But what you've seen is that men. Well, I've had men from San Diego to Boston come. I had a guy come all the way from Canada. Men will look in the mirror and travel and do that work. I put it to where you don't even have to travel. I just said, you don't all you have to do is get on your phone. You don't have to have a desktop. All you have to do is get on your phone and be there. But you couldn't be bothered. Damn. Damn. But other women could be bothered. Other women, I wish I had, if I'd have known more time, I would have scheduled. Damn. So, ladies, I need you to do me a favor. If this is shocking to you, put a 1 in the chat room. If it's not surprising to you, put a 2 in the chat room. Ladies, if it's shocking to you, put a 1 in the chat room. If it's not surprising, put a 2 in the chat room. Yeah, everybody always talk about they never see me in a t-shirt. I'm in a t-shirt right now. T-shirt from Scotch and Soda. And this thing, they're waiting for it on DVD. They can wait for it all they want. Because it's on private webinar. It was not going to be for rebroadcast. Like I said, I made it as simple as possible. Hoodie transforms into a turtleneck. Fearless says she's shocked. Fitness says she's shocked. Eat the upper vibe said she ain't shocked at all. Whipped cream says she's shocked. Daughter King in the movie Pretty Woman, Julie Roberts' character was a prostitute when she invested in herself, took etiquette. Yep. So, ladies, sisters, can we have a conversation? I mean, really. What is it that you think you have to do to get the man you say you want? I don't know how to phrase the question, but what is it that you feel like you have to tangibly do to position yourself to get the outcome you say you want? What do you feel like? What do you think you really have to do? Can somebody tell me? Sisters. I mean, this is y'all's time.
Brothers with a passport are getting too much return on investment from sisters in other countries. And yes, we now know better than to bring them back to the States to be poisoned.
All right. Well, guys, you know, yeah. Yeah. Fearless. She said, if you're in your 20s, you're in college, you should have. That's the program I'm gonna do tomorrow. The program I'm gonna do tomorrow, I'll just tell you. You might as well get ready for this one. The reason most sisters go to college is because they couldn't because they weren't prepared to be a wife out of high school. The reason most of you go to college is because you can't get a husband out of high school. Because unless you're going for science, engineering, technology, math, or accounting, you're going to law school or medical school, something like that, a professional degree, you should have actually been somebody's wife out of high school. You'd have been happier. We're going to talk about that. And if you are one of the women that went to college, you should have went to college to find a husband. You should have been leaving college with a wedding ring. Get a husband, not a degree. Because honestly, you're not out here as a career woman. You ain't out here making moves and climbing the corporate ladder. You ain't beating people. You ain't beating my boys. We're kicking y'all's ass. You got a job as an event planner. I mean, like I said, you just got an average job that you need a degree for. Knock it off. It's like the banks are too big to fail. A lot of sisters too proud to win. Too much pride. You can't admit you need help. That's why Rent-A-Gent wouldn't work with black women. They would not do it. They think they should be able to get men for free just on the power of their coochie because it's so bomb. And before a lot of them were willing to listen and learn and femininity and submissiveness, cooperation, improve their image, they would rather lose than lose their blackness. Because if they gotta give up and become cooperative and feminine, and they're losing at that point. Wake Forest is an upper elite college. That girl, you that gum right. Okay, so let's all right. Realize self-worth first. Like really, I have to sit and think and admit they lack self-worth and respect to spend the money on better, because I mean you'll spend money on your hair, your nails, your clothes, your purse. You'll do the stuff on the outside, but the stuff to work on the inside, it's like you want to cover it up or think and the thing is you think that's enough. Work on yourself first. Be honest about what you really want. Get rid of. No, see, that's wrong. You can't work on yourself first, Maria. You can't work on yourself. Show me a doctor. Show me an attorney who represents himself. I'll show you a lawyer who has a fool for a client. No, you can't do it yourself. You need therapy. You need a coach. See, so many women think that they are too goddamn smart. You're not smart. You can't see your own problems. Too busy living their best lives. There it is, man. They don't make a lot of money. I don't care. That's bullshit. They make enough money to go on girls trips. They make enough money to go to Cheesecake Factory. They make enough money to do whatever the hell they want. And women have no problem going into debt for a purse or a dress. So knock it off. Women spend 73 cents out of every dollar. Women will go into debt. You're going to debt to go to school. How about this? The nerve of you. You're going to hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt to go into school, but you won't go into, you're going to thousands of dollars of debt to go to school, but you want to go into hundreds of dollars of debt to get better. You're one of the few trying to put black women up on real game about eligibility. Yeah, appreciate it. Think about it. You're going to tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt for college or university and credit card debt, but you won't go into hundreds or even $1,000 of debt to get your head together, to become more eligible, to put yourself in a position to get a man. The nerve of you. You're going to $100,000 of debt for a $30,000 a year job, but you won't spend $400 or $500 to get a goddamn black man. Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. It's a bad look, ladies. It's a bad image. It's a bad image. And the reason I brought this up is because had I just not said anything about it, a lot of women would have just not known. You'd have been deluded, but I had to bring this out. I've not mentioned any names, and I've done it as nice a way as possible. But if you are in the demographic that this applies to, and if you're one of the people that actually hit me up saying I want to attend and I want more information, And you didn't even respond? I mean, not you, I mean, didn't even respond. Wow. No, Candace. I know. I was just,
Paying for therapist, coach, edu, etc. Waiting for Devon of Matthew Klein.
I'll be honest with you, man. I even thought, how can I make it? How can I mean, if they will at least respond and say it's too much, or I can't, I didn't even have a chance to fix it. Hey, I don't have all the money. Time's a little tough. I hear what you're saying. This is a shock to my system, but I didn't even get a chance to say, okay, well,
Interact with men folks at Chamber of Commerce events, business conferences, and golf/charity events. You may be 510 years old, but if you put together low debt, low drama, they will scoop you up.
let me say this. Sisters, Black women, you got to learn how to ask for the help you need. It does not make you weak to admit you're not strong. You're not supposed to be the strong ones. Drop this, I'm strong, I don't need no man. You're tired of this stuff. That's why I brought up the real. You heard women, Lonnie, the chick down, you started talking about she, she started breaking down when she started talking about her man that she's dating now. This is bullshit. You're tired of this. You're tired of living this way, and you got to start doing something. You didn't respond, so you didn't even give me a chance to see how I could possibly help you. There were some guys who attended MIT who were so proud they didn't have the money liquidly, and I said, you know what? I know your heart's in the right place. Let me see how I can work with you. But they had to raise their hand. You don't even raise your hand to see, because you said you wanted to go. You've already said, I know I do need to do this, but then you didn't even respond. I guess there was a reason I was supposed to talk about this tonight. You're going to have to become vulnerable. You're going to have to risk. You're going to have to risk. You're going to have to do the one thing you said you would never do again, and that's put yourself out there and become vulnerable and have some faith or some hope. Because can nobody help you when you are balled up like a rock? And all this makeup you got on, and these eyelashes and eyeliner and weave, and also you're living a lie, and men can feel it. Even though they may not be as adept at seeing it as I am, they can feel it. And it's reached, and I strategically put this time of year because this is the time where you're the most alone. Y'all should have been running to this motherfucker at this point. But the fact that you didn't run, the fact that wow. How can we help? Ladies, how can I help? How can I help you? Because I've gotten emails, I've gotten letters, I've seen the comments that you guys have, from the videos. But I don't know how can I help? That's all because honestly, I'm at a loss. How can we help you? Can we help you? Because I really, honestly, was surprised when not one out of the 40 returned an email. Didn't even say thank you, can attend, just psh. And y'all know I don't beef and I don't get upset. I was like, why? If it was 5 or 6, but 40? What happened? You get other stuff. I just don't. Okay. If you want to attend virtually, let me know. If you just let me know how I can help. Just how can we help? If you don't want to talk about it in the chat room, I get it. Okay. What did Trinity say? She needed a man, no question. All right. All right. Well, if you are interested in attending virtually to the virtual session, let me know. It's $449 for 8 to lunchtime. Virtual classroom. You'll join in via Zoom. We have breakout rooms. You know, I run a good program. She said she need a man. You're doing it. 3% video. You ripped up a new one. I'm listening. Good. She's dropped 30 pounds. Good for you. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. Gentlemen, I also need, I've said this on Obsidian Show. As we're starting to do our level up and get better, I think there's been such a lack of hope on both sides. And when people lack hope, it's easy to get comfortable, and comfort kills.
Here's to giving up that real game.
Appreciate it, fam. I don't lack hope because I've seen 7 couples tell me they've gotten together, and I'm an image consultant. Jesus Christ, I'm not a dating coach, by the way. People are like, you're the best date. I'm not a dating coach. I'm an image consultant. I just have a particular set of skills. It's never about making anybody feel bad. Like I said, the guys that attend MIT, their lives are changed, and I think a lot of women just are scared to hope. I mean, Tisha Campbell said it on the Real. She said she's scared of men right now. I mean, I get it. But you have to do it scared. You have to do it scared. You have to do it afraid. You have to do it alone. You have to do it through your tears. You have to cry in the shower, cry on your way to work. You have to do it while crying. I'm sorry. Men have to do it too. But you got to do it if you ever want to have something change. All right, let me see what we got out here. Damn, that was not what I expected to do. Wow. Live streaming, I tell you what, whew, it's a risk, I tell you that much, boy. Shout out to the CIA. If you're interested in booking one-on-one advice time, there you go. If you want to become a patron of the channel, please do. I will be talking about the changes in YouTube coming. YouTube is going to be a completely different platform after December 10th. And January 1st, YouTube is going to lose a lot of content creators, and a lot of stuff is going to go bye-bye. I don't want to clutter that up, but support your favorite content creators via Patreon because there won't be much ad money. If you want to book your one-on-one consult, they're actually on holiday special right now. Supplies are limited. Once they're gone, they're gone. I want to read through. Week alone, 4 women, Coach Oko. Really, Robert said this week alone, 4 women from other coaches appropriate. Yep. All right. All right. I don't lack hope.
After my divorce, I left the Jordans. I make 200K a year, lost 50 pounds, and dress very well. How do I build a strong community of strong men? Iron Sharpie Iron, and my old friends just hate on me. All
right. Well, if you're already doing that work, they're supposed to hate on you. That's a good thing. That means you're doing the right thing. How do you build a strong community of strong men? So basically, how do you make new friends is what you're asking. Take up a hobby. Take up several hobbies. Running, cycling, archery. You got to get out and do new things. Talk to your old friends about the stuff you used to talk to your old friends about. Keep it simple. Don't talk politics, religion, what's the business. Just talk sports. But you got to go do the new stuff and understand that. And look, man, some people come in our life for a season. Everybody's not meant to go the distance. Don't feel guilty. Don't shit on them. You know, don't talk. You know, if you got your own business making 200,000, don't be talking about y'all are wage slaves and you're working for the man. You know. Go watch my video on how to become a better friend. One, you got to approach life where you're open, go to new spots, make yourself accessible, greet people in your daily life like who serve you by their name, and just get out there and be more personal. Life will reciprocate. But building friends, building a network, just like losing weight and increasing your income, takes persistence. You gotta do it. Notice me. Um, I've been in Atlanta for 6 weeks, and you always see me on Instagram out moving. I'm never just still. You got to always be moving. By the way, if you do not follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I go live every day on Instagram. But I want to say this, ladies, how can we help? Um, you got to have, if you don't have any hope or faith, you're going to have to replace your faith somewhere. Um, there are women out here, there are people out here living better lives every day. It comes with a choice that each one of us makes. It comes with a choice each one of us makes. You say you missed this, miss most of this, you have to see it tomorrow. I don't know how much of it I'm going to actually keep up, honestly, because I kind of went places I wasn't expecting to go. All right, then. Till next time, talk to y'all later. One love. Peace.